Imagine this scenario. After the Olympics, after the win by the women's hockey team, back in the locker room afterwards, as they were celebrating, there with them was Pam Bondi, who was whooping and hollering along with all of the women who had just won the gold. Wait, that didn't happen. Instead, we had Cash Patel with the men's hockey team uh, doing what he does best, making an ass of himself. Um, but above that, above all that, there is this whole issue of what happened when the president called the men's team to congratulate them and made a disparaging remark about the women's team that he'd probably have to call them or have them come to the White House as well or some such thing. Anyway, disparaging remark. It's all you need to know. It's what he does best. But what got the most criticism was the reaction of the hockey players that they laughed along and they didn't speak up for their women um, companions. Now, I hate to say this, but I'm going to take the side of the hockey players here. Not really take their side, but give them a little bit of benefit of the doubt because I think probably most of us have been in a situation where someone has made a comment that is sexist or racist or ableist or homophobic or you name it, and we didn't know what to say. Especially if it's somebody with power, somebody important, somebody who may be a boss or a friend, really, or family member. We're not sure how to respond. And so oftentimes we'll just kind of laugh uncomfortably. So I'm guessing that's what happened, really. Um, and what I believe is that we all need to be prepared for these moments. Most of us are not going to get disparaging remarks from the president in person, at least. But it happens. It happens all the time. And what do we do? Rather than being caught up short, we need to be prepared of how we are going to respond. First thing is acknowledge that it will happen. Second is be prepared. What might at least one of the hockey players said on that call with the president? I like the concept of calling people in rather than calling them out. To call someone in is to be helpful in pointing out a mistake rather than jumping on them and which usually doesn't do any good at all. So rather than somebody jumping in and saying, "Oh, President Trump, that's terrible. You're being sexist, and you don't want to say that." Yeah, that wouldn't work. But maybe something to the effect of, "Oh, hey now, um, let's hear it for our women hockey players. Wasn't it great? Look at what they did too. We are so excited about that. They're our teammates too. So we want to lift them up as well as ourselves." They could have done that. It didn't necessarily call the president out for his language, but in effect, really, it made him look small. It would have made him look small. So you can come up with your own response, but um, in your preparations for saying something to a friend, a relative, a boss, a coworker, whoever, practice maybe with this situation. What would you have said to the president? What would you have said in that moment that would have been much more helpful? Actually, the women hockey players, one of them said that they totally understood what happened, that they were put on the spot and didn't know what to do. Right, I agree. But that's no excuse. We have to know what to do. How to say in a positive way that we do not agree with what that person said and do it in a positive way. Maybe we'll never change their minds. Maybe we will. but we'll let those around us know where we stand and that we are not complicit in that kind of behavior. So, lots of stuff going on in the world today, lots of horrible things to be talking about, but we do things one little thing at a time. And this is what we can do today. Thanks, everyone.